Hi, I'm Jason from Field, and this is another Field Basic. Today we're going to talk about watering. When you put in new plants, you have the idea that eventually it's going to be low maintenance, but it's not right away. Right away you're definitely going to have to water. The plant is in a little container like this, and the roots are really compact. What you want to do is water them really well so their roots start spreading out. That's when you start to have a healthy plant, but sometimes that could take a couple years. So in our watering guide, the recommendations that we give for newly planted plants is to plant a perennial, so that could be a flowering plant, it could be a grass, for 15 seconds. A shrub, this is a 9 bark here, for 40 seconds, and a tree for 90 seconds. But 90 seconds is actually a long time, so I'll talk about another option for trees. So what that 15 seconds means for a perennial is usually you can't water it actually for a full 15 seconds because the water starts to trail off. So usually you do a count of about 3 or 4 seconds and then move on to another plant and do it for 3 or 4 seconds and then move to another plant, 3 or 4 seconds, and then come back to that first one. So you're kind of looking for a total of 10 to 15 seconds. And that should give you enough water that it gets to, the bottom of the roots. That's what you're kind of looking for, is that if you stick a finger in there, is that it's gotten wet, 3 or 4 inches down at least. And I definitely recommend the sticking the finger in it method. That really tells you whether you've gotten water. If you're using like an oscillating sprinkler, it's really easy to have that going for an hour or something, and then you go and you stick your finger in there and it's still dry. A lot of the water just goes up into the air and you lose it. By hand watering plants right on the plant, you're really sure to get the water deep into the plant. So the same would apply to a shrub. Again, you're probably going to be able to water it for 10 seconds or something like that. Go to another shrub or perennial for a total of 40 seconds. For a tree, like I said, you could go to the tree, do 10 seconds and do it 9 times. But actually a better way to do that is to take your nozzle off, and what you're going to do is just set that to a drip. I mean, that's probably a drip. If you don't have one of these on-off valves, it's just going to be just barely dripping actually, because you want that drip to not be so fast that it overflows and starts to go into the surrounding landscape. So you're actually just going to put that on the tree and let it drip there for like 30 minutes. That's going to allow it to get really deep, because a tree's roots are going to be, maybe 2 feet down. And so you're going to want it enough time to sink all the way down and kind of fill that full area. You probably only have to do that a couple times a week. So that's watering new plants. Once again, it's another great day to work outside.